Welcome back to Remote Phys Ed with Mr. Smith. I have lost count on what week this is, but this week, day one, we're going to be integrating some math into your phys ed as well. And we're going to be doing that through fraction fitness. If you look at the handout, you see we're going to have a fraction. We're going to have to find out like one half, a quarter, an eighth of a certain number that will be associated with an exercise, and we will perform that exercise for the amount that we find on the problem. Probably do 2 rounds or 1.5 rounds, about 8 exercises, shooting for about 12 to 16 sets. As always, let's look at the exercises that are going to be performed today, just so you guys have an idea of what they will look like and what they're working on. First, we're going to look at planks. It's a muscular endurance exercise that really works on your core muscles, such as your abdomen, which is in your stomach. They are very difficult. There's 3 different ways you can do them. You can do them as you see on the screen, holding yourself up on your toes and your forearms. Notice the man is flat. His bottom's not too raised, so he's not like a triangle. And it's also not sinking towards the floor, so his knees are like touching. You want to be flat like a table. That is option number 1. It's probably the second most challenging. The easiest way to do a plank is, instead of being on your forearms, put your hands on the ground, have your feet just the same, and be in the up position of a push-up. Just like this, you're going to be flat like a table. You're not going to have your bottom too high or too low, and you're going to hold yourself up without actually going down like you're doing push-ups. The other way, the most challenging way, is to alternate between the two. So you will start either on your forearms like you see in the example, or in the up push-up position. Then, without letting your knees touch the ground, you're going to alternate between your hands and your forearms. These are great exercises. They're challenging, but they're very effective, and they require no equipment. Next, we're going to look at a windmill stretch. It is a flexibility exercise. To do these, you're going to be standing straight up with your back flat, with your arms out to your side. You will have your feet spread about a little farther than shoulder width. You're going to alternate sides. You're going to take your right hand or your right arm, bend down diagonally, and try to touch your left foot. And then you're going to stand back up. Then you will take your left hand and go down to your right foot. Each time you go down, it is 1 rep. So, for example, you would have to go down to your left, 1, down to your right, 2. Now we're going to look at push-ups. Push-ups are very efficient. They're very difficult, and because of that, we have a couple different modifications you can do. But first, we're going to look at the normal push-up. You have your feet together, flat on the floor. You have your hands to your side, and then you hold yourself up so your knees aren't touching the ground and you're flat like a table. You're going to bend at your elbows so your body goes down. About, you want your elbows to bend to about a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to push using your tricep muscles and your chest muscles to go back to the starting position. If this is too difficult for you, instead of being on your toes, put your knees on the ground, walk your hands out so you're still flat like a table, and then do the same thing with your arms. You're not just bending your head over towards the floor. You're going down, your arms are bending. You should feel like pressure on your chest and your arms when you do this, then you're pressing back up. If that is also too hard for yourself, go find a flat spot on the wall, put your hands straight out in front of you, your arms straight out in front of you, hands on the wall. Take a step away from the wall so there is a little bit of pressure there. Then you're going to bend your arms 90 degrees and then push them back out. So instead of being on the floor for these, you will be against the wall. The quad stretch or thigh stretch, whichever you would want to call it, it's the same exercise. To do these, you're going to be standing straight up. You're working on your flexibility. You're going to take one leg at a time. You're going to lift it behind you, and then you're going to grab that leg by your ankle with your hand, and you're going to pull it close. Notice when you're watching someone do this exercise, they're not jumping around on their foot. They're staying as still as possible. A tip to improve your balance, try to focus on something that is still. When we do it in the gym, I usually try to focus on the basketball rim. If you're focusing on something still, I find it helps with your balance. When you do these, you're going to do them on both legs separately. You're going to count to however many you have to do, and then you're going to alternate legs and then do it again. You're not bouncing, you're not pulling your leg like over and over. You're going to try to hold it in one position for the entire count. Next, we're going to look at the squat jump or jump forwards. I like to call them squat jumps. To do this, you're going to stand, feet shoulder width apart, back flat. You're going to squat, which you're going to sit down to a 90-degree angle with your legs so they look like you're sitting in a chair. When you're squatting, your arms are going to come back so you're gathering your momentum. And then from your squat, you're going to explode up and forward. You're not standing straight up and then jumping, you're jumping from the squat. After you do that, you're going to back up to your starting position and do it again. If you don't have that much room, feel free to just jump straight up vertically instead of forward. This is a muscular endurance exercise as well as a cardio endurance exercise. Another leg exercise is up next. It is the lunges. You may do these like moving or you can do them stationary. It's completely up to you and your space situation. It is a muscular endurance exercise. To do these, you're going to be standing straight up, back flat. You're going to take a deep step forward with one of your legs. We're going to say right leg first, but if you want to do left, that's also fine. When you step forward, you're going to bend down at your legs to a 90-degree angle with that lead foot, and then you're going to press off and go back to the starting position. You will then rotate and do the opposite leg. So you're going to do one on your right leg, go back to starting position, then do one on your left leg. If you do these right, you're really going to feel it in your quadriceps, which is your top of your legs, as well as your hamstrings. Continuing our lower body theme, the second half of this workout, it seems, we are going to look at squats, a muscular endurance exercise that utilizes a lot of your muscles in your body. So it is a very effective exercise, even if we kind of look silly when we do it. When you do these, you're going to be standing straight up, feet shoulder width apart, back flat. You're going to sit in that imaginary chair, not leaning forward. You're going to keep your back flat. You're bending at your legs again. Once you get down to about 90 degrees or a little bit more, less than 90 degrees, you're going to stand back up. When you go down for balance, it helps to lift your arms straight out in front of you. Make sure you're breathing. A good tip is to take a big deep breath in while you go down and then exhale or let that breath out when you're standing back up. Our last exercise today we're going to look at is mountain climbers, a very good cardio endurance exercise that also works on some of your muscles as well, which most exercise does. To do these, you're going to start like you're going to do a push-up. Your back is flat. You got both hands on the floor, but instead of having your feet with each other. You're going to have one up kind of under your belly, the other one extended back like you're about to do a push-up. Instead of bending at your arms, you're going to kind of jump with the back of your like back half of your body. You're going to switch your legs. So for example, if your right leg is under your belly, your left leg's back, you're going to jump and then you're going to switch it so your left leg is now under your belly, your right leg's back. And you're going to continue repeating this motion for as many times as the exercises say. All right, now that we've looked at the exercises, let's get to work. Our first four problems will be on the computer at all times. Well, at the same time. I'll give you about five, let's see, 5 to 6 minutes to do them. After you do those four, take about a minute break, but instead of just sitting down not moving, do some light walking during that minute. Go get a drink, walk around. Don't just sit down. You want to try to keep that heart rate up just a little bit to improve the effectiveness of the workout. And then you will see the second four problems with the other four exercises. After you complete both rounds, I challenge you or your parents or your guardians, whoever you are living with, maybe if it's your brother, to come up with some of your own math problems and then do an exercise with those. All right, good luck.